gangster rappers never had easy access to the airwaves. MTV has very strict standards regarding images of gratuitous sex and violence, as do other video outlets. And in 1993, radio stations such as KACE in Los Angeles and WBLS in New York announced they would no longer play songs they considered negative.
It is not a question of censorship. You have the right of free speech in this country, but you don't have the right to yell fire in a crowded theater. And that is what some of these records are doing. They're yelling, shoot in a community that is crowded with guns.
I believe in the Constitution. I believe in the First Amendment. And there is nothing that Ruthless or any other company like us does that we shouldn't be doing.
Ruthless Records was one of the first labels devoted to gangster rap and was the home of N.W.A, whose success was made possible by the label's independence.
Boy, you should have known by now, Easy does.
Easy owns the company, right? He owns Ruthless Records. And if we'd have went to a major company from the beginning with the stuff we had, it would have probably never been out, you know. But since we were doing the records ourselves, put out pretty much anything we want to, you know, and it took off.
I mean, you got people coming that never did gangster rap before, because, okay, say the records that came out, they was commercial, all right? So they commercial, they come out, the records don't sell that much. The next album, they want to come out, they want to be gangster. I'm gonna be a gangster this record, man. I gotta make myself hard, because that stuff is selling. So everybody jumped on the bandwagon.
Definitely, I think Onyx has redesigned their image over time. We've seen the progression of Dre from the world-class Wrecking Crew times to what he's doing now.
It's just a fact. He wore, you know, a little tight stuff. You know, he had a little tight stuff, you know, eyeliner, lipstick. I mean, it was way out, but whatever he's doing, he gotta be doing right. And I'm just giving him his props.
Certainly Hammer has redefined his image. There's a story in the Wall Street Journal about the boss having one image when she was in school, I guess, growing up in Michigan. And she says quite plainly in the article, she's a businesswoman. She's out here to get paid and get over in hip-hop. So she's formulated this image now, even though I think she went to private schools when she was growing up. And now she's the boss. We must get into discussions of the marketplace and capitalism, because that also informs what these rappers do and don't do.
I don't consider myself no gangster or nothing like that. I'm in here to make money, you know.
Oh, it don't take away his credibility. It's just showing you that it's a business.
He was probably manipulated by the music industry. They said, this is what you gotta do right now to catch the eye. So he just followed along to make the bucks, and he tried to work his way out of the society. And he did what he had to.
But what Dre did more recently was sell over 3 million copies of his album The Chronic and launch the career of Snoop Doggy Dogg, whose debut solo album sold almost 1 million copies in 1 week. Those 2 albums made Dre's Death Row label very profitable, and to the dismay of their critics, popularized the gangster image more than ever.
People often pick on rappers who's successful. If these guys weren't making any hits, they wouldn't be picking out.
Reverend Calvin Butts, Dionne Warwick, and the different people talking about stopping the type of music that I do, and they're only trying to, the only thing they're trying to do is take away jobs. You know, this is our job.
Money is the problem to a large degree. And if you use money to justify what you're doing, you're just like the white man that sold you into slavery in the first place. Money cannot be the justification or the determining factor of whether what we do is right or wrong.
I need a gangster bitch.
Another controversial aspect of the gangster formula is blatantly sexist lyrics, often referring to women as bitches and hoes.
Bitches come a dime a dozen, so don't get mad when I your cousin.
You gotta remember that a lot of rappers are dealing with nothing but these kinds of women that are coming at them. Oh, who are you? You ain't nobody. Oh, you're Snoop Dogg? Oh, I wasn't nobody a minute ago. Oh. You know, now you see money, right? So that's where all the bitches and hoes come from, you know?
Most women today are used to other women or themselves being called a bitch.
Songs are perceived.
This area right now, I've never seen any guns or anything like that. In my backyard, probably the worst thing that goes on is probably like some squirrels fighting or whatever.
When they talk about the ghetto, I can relate to that too. Because it's like every other night, it was like, all you heard was gunshots around my way.
When I hear all these things like this, it's kind of hard for me to relate to. I think about it, and it just comes down to I basically enjoy listening to them for the beats, and they're really talented.
I can relate to it, but that doesn't mean I want to hear it every day or like buy it.
Now they dropping and yelling, it's a tad bit late. Nate Dogg and Warren G had to regulate.
I don't think it portrays a very good lifestyle to the young people who listen to it, especially people in the inner cities that face these problems every day.
The other day, boy got shot 18 times in the head. I mean, it happens.
It's glorifying what they see every day.
It's not glorifying violence, it's telling it like it is. Simple.
We can get like Snoop Dogg walking down the street smoking N.W.A, sipping on gin and juice.
This is where I started from, and I can't forget where I came from. That's how I feel about gangster music and gangster rap. I feel it'll always be around. It's a way out as far as releasing like stress, you know what I'm saying? Like releasing like where I don't gotta go smoke me a marijuana joint every day, you know what I'm saying? I can listen to me some Snoop Dogg and it'll elevate my mind just like that joint, you know what I'm talking about?
As the debate continues over the influence of rap lyrics, some rappers and their opponents are looking to open constructive dialogue. Reverend Calvin Butts, who last year destroyed explicit rap tapes and CDs, now questions that approach.
The steamroller was in fact what any good parent who was opposed to the filth in some of these records would do. They take these things from their children and throw them in the garbage can. I will not do that again. It was a one-time effort to draw attention.
The reason why I think it's hitting the Reverend because he feels that the power that I have right now, if I was doing something positive as far as, hey, don't do drugs, don't do that, I guess he feels that it'll stop the violence, but I'm here to tell you that's not gonna happen. I mean, you know it and I know it, that's not gonna happen. Reverend Butts ain't got no love for us, you know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be like that, especially if he's a preacher. You're supposed to counsel us, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if he sit down and said, look here, Snoop, you got that position, why don't you change your rap up like this and be more whoop whoop wham, maybe I will respect him and when I'm writing, change it up a little taste and give him that right hand, you know what I'm saying, to say, okay, I'm gonna do this for Reverend Butts and change it up.
I don't think that I'm suggesting that if he changes his rap, that will stop the violence. But I think I am suggesting that if we can provide some jobs and some other kinds of things that address what is at the root of these pathologies, we can. And I will try to reach, if somebody will tell me how to get to him.
If there are real perceptions by young males, white, black, red, green, that, you know, women are bitches and hoes, then we better start talking about why they believe that. I say that all these records are always like an alarm. It's an alarm for us to do something.